matter.
The quality
It does
worth
not matter. I'm sorry. By the way, that money you saved is not worth the honor that you compromised.
It is such a big deal.
It's a massive deal.
I think the mistake they made, and I've said on my podcast, she should have never become the CEO and chairman overnight. Because now, when people have questions, you got to answer them, right? You're not just a grieving widow, but you very quickly decided that you were equipped to be charged.
What happens when the very organization someone helped build quietly starts using their own content against them? Because that's the situation conservative insiders are now whispering about after claims surfaced that TPUSA may be circulating old videos of Charlie Kirk behind the scenes, not to defend him, but to slowly dismantle the image he's spent years building. Now, as you guys probably know, Charlie Kirk practically is Turning Point USA. He founded the organization, built the student network, and turned those campus debates into viral moments that made him one of the most recognizable faces in conservative politics. So the idea that his own clips might now be getting weaponized internally, that's what has people confused. And the person who allegedly blew the lid off this situation is Candace Owens. According to Candace, certain people around TPUSA have been digging through years of Charlie's old speeches and interviews, pulling specific clips that could completely change how people view him. And if what she's claiming is true, it would mean Charlie's own digital footprint is being used to rewrite his legacy in real time. But the part that everyone is really wondering about is this. Why is all of this happening now? What exactly happened behind the scenes to trigger these videos being resurfaced? Now, the moment that really set the internet off happened on Twitter when Turning Point USA posted an old clip of Charlie Kirk talking about Iran. In the video, Charlie says, "If you are serious about protecting human rights, you should want to make Iran Western again." And TPUSA didn't post that clip randomly. They shared it right after Trump's strike on Iran, clearly using the video to signal support for the escalation. By resurfacing that clip, they were framing it like Charlie would have supported the same hardline position.
It's very easy to kind of sit in your Western armchair and be like, oh, Israel's terrible. Well, you were able to enjoy free speech rights and a lot of rights here in the West that Iran used to have. And if you are serious about actually protecting human rights, you should want to make Iran Western again.
But within minutes, the post got hit with a community note, and the note completely changed the context of that clip. It read, "This clip predates Charlie Kirk's June 2025 statement calling regime change in Iran pathologically insane. He opposed war." Now, as you guys probably know, the Iran question was one of the last major foreign policy positions Charlie made before he died, and he didn't sound conflicted about it either. He was extremely clear that a war with Iran would be reckless, devastating, and wouldn't benefit anyone, not Americans and definitely not Iranians.
That sounds good, but that's pathologically insane. I'm sorry, it is. How do you know it's going to be better? Yeah, the Ayatollah's awful. But maybe he's one of the few guys that can keep that country together and not have a 90 million person civil.
And the difference between those two moments, the old clip versus his final position, is exactly why that community note blew up. Because once people saw it, the entire post suddenly looked different. It no longer looked like TPUSA honoring Charlie's views. It looked like they were digging up an outdated clip to push a narrative he had already rejected. And to Candace, this wasn't just a bad tweet. It was the first sign that someone inside the organization might be trying to reshape Charlie Kirk's legacy. Now, for a lot of people watching this play out, it felt familiar, because this isn't the first time people have accused Turning Point USA of quietly reshaping how Charlie Kirk's beliefs are remembered. And according to Candace, the shift really started after Erica took control of the organization. As you guys probably know, when Charlie passed away, the future of TPUSA was suddenly wide open. The entire movement had been built around him. So the question became, who was going to carry that forward? And the answer came quickly. Erica stepped in and took the helm. On paper, the move was framed as protecting Charlie's legacy. In interviews, Erica repeatedly said she wanted to continue the mission he started and keep his voice alive through the organization he built.
And I know this award is about legacy. It's about my legacy, our children's legacy, my husband's legacy, but it's also about your legacy.
Not everyone believed that narrative. One of the loudest critics from the beginning was Candace Owens. Candace said she immediately felt like something about the situation didn't sit right with her. In her view, Charlie was a traditional Christian who valued family above everything else. And because of that, Candace believed Charlie would have wanted something very different for his family after his death. That's going to be a trial by fire.
Erica thing is like, you gotta be at some level terrified, right? It's either the greatest evil that ever happened, or she's terrified and she's in this position. And I think the mistake they made, and I've said on my podcast, she should have never become the CEO and chairman overnight. Because now when people have questions, you gotta answer them, right? You're not just a grieving widow, but you very quickly decided that you were equipped to be Charlie. Well, guess what? That's gonna be a trial by...
Instead of stepping into the political spotlight, Candace argued that Erica should have stayed home with their kids and helped them grieve, especially since Charlie had reportedly left behind a large enough inheritance that she wouldn't have needed to run the organization financially. But that's not what happened. Almost immediately, Erica stepped into Charlie's role and began running TPUSA herself. And then people started noticing something strange. The more decisions Erica made inside the organization, the more it seemed like Charlie's original positions were slowly being reframed. Now, this is where Candace Owens really stopped holding back, because after that Iran clip controversy exploded, she released episode 2 of her investigative series on Erica titled Bride of Charlie. And in that episode, Candace didn't just question Erica's leadership, she went straight at her. Candace described Erica and her mother, Lori, as fame-hungry social climbers who had been chasing attention long before Charlie ever died. And according to Candace, even before the assassination last September, Lori was constantly encouraging Erica to work the room, grab the spotlight, and stay in front of cameras anytime the opportunity came up.
Says that Lori, Erica's mother, is exceedingly problematic. What people have said to me is she is the person, has always been the person in Erica's ear. She's this type A person that tells her who to go after in each and every room. She knows who those people are, who Erica should instantly transform into, what she has to say.
And if you look at what happened after Charlie's death, the pattern is impossible to ignore. Erica has done interview after interview with major television networks, putting herself at the center of the story while presenting herself as the guardian of Charlie's legacy. But Candace says the real problem isn't the interviews, it's what's happening inside TPUSA while all of this is going on. Because according to her, the organization Charlie built to spread ideas and inspire conservative youth has slowly started looking something very different. The focus has shifted heavily toward merchandising, branding, and monetizing Charlie's image. And then she dropped the receipt that really set people off, an audio recording she leaked, capturing Erica speaking just days after Charlie died. In the clip, Erica can be heard laughing and sounding excited about how much money TPUSA had already made from merch sales tied to Charlie's name. And for a lot of people listening to that recording, the timing felt disturbing because Charlie had barely been gone for a few days.
Thousands that were registered to vote. I think we're at like over 200,000 for merch sales. Don't quote me on that because I think it just keeps like bumping up like crazy.
And Candace didn't mince words about how she sees it. She said turning Charlie's name into a money-making machine right after his death might be the most evil thing someone could do to his legacy. Now, once that community note went viral and Candace's accusations started spreading, the reaction online was immediate because people weren't just criticizing the tweet anymore. They were accusing TPUSA itself of betraying Charlie's legacy. Screenshots from the post started circulating across Twitter, and the replies underneath it turned into a full-on pileup. One person wrote, "How distasteful, dishonest, and disgusting. Y'all doing more to his legacy every damn day. Shame on y'all, for real." Another comment said, "The way TPUSA is manipulating Charlie's words and message to appease the Warhawks is shameful." Some even went as far as dragging the Israel angle into it, with this person saying, "Tell us TPUSA was co-opted by Israel after Mossaded him without telling us." Now, whether those claims are true or not, the point is that the conversation had clearly spiraled far beyond a single tweet. Speaking of Israel, Candace also pointed out how weird it was that despite Charlie being bullied and threatened by Israeli power players in the days leading up to his death, Erica still associated herself with the pro-Israel cause, acting like Charlie had completely changed his stance on Israel before he died. But the resurfacing videos aren't the only thing that started raising alarms, because barely a month after Charlie died, fans noticed something else happening quietly in the background. His content started disappearing. First it was Spotify, then Apple Podcasts, then clips and episodes began vanishing from YouTube. And before long, people who had followed Charlie for years suddenly realized they couldn't even access old episodes they had already saved. And that's when people started asking the obvious question: why would an organization erase the digital footprint of the person who built it? In a tweet that went viral, Candace pointed the finger directly at Erica, saying she gave the order as CEO. However, a TPUSA staff member fired back, throwing all the blame on the streaming platforms. But that answer didn't sit right with a lot of people, because streaming platforms don't all remove content at the same time unless there's a direct request from the people who control the content, which means someone, somewhere, likely made the decision. And when you combine disappearing archives with old clips suddenly resurfacing out of context, the question starts getting a lot darker. Was TPUSA really preserving Charlie Kirk's legacy, or was someone quietly deciding which parts of his voice the public was still allowed to hear and which parts needed to disappear?